Hi, everybody. It's the Azho Show starring Azho.
Yay me. And co-starring Gangster at the top of my list. How you doing, Mr. GG's?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful. And there it is. Oh, you got him. I was just saying, if Buck doesn't show up, I'm gonna give him hell because this is all for him. Now, if we get BMM, this would be even better. But
I imagine he'll be sticking his nose around. Whether he'll come in is a different thing.
Oh, he's been invited, so
yeah, I
know. Not doing anything. He will. It's not like this is like Battle of the Death or anything.
What? Which one?
Oh. Are you there?
Yeah, he's talking
to
somebody.
All right, then I'll come back and.
Don't come back here. I'm going to be gone. Just go to my house.
Okay, I'll see you there.
Oh. Well, how you been today, the site?
Okay. Busy, crazy busy.
Oh, that's good.
What are you up to?
That's very good.
One way to pay the bills.
Yeah. Funny you should mention that.
Oh.
Okay, you got yours going.
Let's get this out of my car. I feel like dealing with it now. Hey, Mike and Ike.
You want me to put the link in the
Dirty Mike and Ike.
Oh, Dustin, we think that they made Zeldin the new pope.
They made Zeldin the new pope.
Yeah, that was a quick Pope vote. It usually takes a lot longer than that.
They gotta work out their individual interests, and right now, they just need someone who can stand up to Trump.
Are you sure?
I think that's what happened, bro. I think that this old Pope wasn't cutting it. They freaking offed him so that they could get this new guy in.
Oh.
Well, just strange that it was what I think a 2-vote. What do they call that stupid thing they were doing? It starts with a C. I know that.
No idea.
Oh my gosh!
It's not important enough to actually know about Azho.
It's true, but it's still history. It's kind of fun. I remember as a kid, one went for like ever. I mean, ever, and they never thought they were going to get a pope. That's why I was surprised this one was so quick. But there might be something to it, because it's kind of weird that Francis was sick, then he got better, and the day after, was it Easter or Passover? He passed away. Very suspicious,
bro. Everything on this planet is in question. Absolutely everything.
Hey, Terry and Mr. J. May.
Oh, Terry's here?
Yeah. She was first. Jamie was second.
Terry! Yeah. I can't wait for this one. I think you guys are going to be, like, interested. I came up with a pretty good argument, I think.
Yeah, I may skip through some of it because I didn't even look at it. But I didn't realize... let me see. It's like almost 4 hours.
We had a pretty good discussion.
Look, we're going to turn off the sound there. There we go. Okay. StreamYard. Share screen. There we go. So make sure you guys see it over there. Yeah, I'm going to play it for a while. If you want me to stop it, just say so. I'll probably skip through it if it's just like the beginning of BS. But if there's a spot you want me to stop, I'll stop and maybe BMM.
I think we get right into it, bro. I don't think there's a lot of BS between the two of us.
You talk for 4 hours? Which, I mean, I guess it's I've seen longer conversations. But here we go.
Got it.
It's live now.
There we go.
Hello, audience.
Yeah, we're here a discussion between Big Bad Mama and the Dustin.
Oh, this was a year ago. Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Dustin.
Are you there, Dustin?
I think you're muted.
I guess I'll go
Yeah,
first.
how's it going? Yeah, I don't.
Just-
Well, you're the expert. Like, in all honesty, I mean, all I have is research. So,
That's a good point.
Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Do you want me to go first? Because I have some figures to show, and so I'll just kind of do a quick rundown. If you
Dustin, maybe you can inform everybody what the obviously we're starting to get a feel for what the discussion was about, but exactly what the discussion topic was.
the Mid-Atlantic Ridge
Okay.
and what was it? The sliding plate theory.
So did you ever get into like the plate tectonics, or is this kind of what the whole discussion
It
was?
dives directly into plate tectonics.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we all know. There you go. I'm
Yeah.
gonna-
Well, if you have a presentation, go ahead.
Whoop. Oh,
All I have is research.
I'm gonna see if I can turn the speed
Okay.
up a little bit on it though. I'm gonna go 2 nuts, maybe 1.5. Let's try that.
so hold on, I have to go to the share screen.
If you can't
Which-
hear that, I can turn that to 1.25 or go
I have to
back to
find-
normal speed.
Here it is.
We're fine, bud.
Okay.
Okay. Now, please let me know if you can hear this or see this. I mean,
Yeah, that.
Visual is coming through.
Oh, it's buffering. What the heck is?
can everybody see that?
Oh, here we go.
I can.
Yes.
I see it on the stream too.
Okay, and it's legible.
Yes, it's clear. I
Okay,
can see
somebody-
Africa, South America plate.
Okay, so this is a map of the Earth showing the tectonic plates. We have 7 major and 8 minor plates. What we're going to be talking about is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge here. If you can see that. Now let me go to the next figure here. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can
Coming
see this
through loud
figure?
and clear, and I can see your presentation.
Good, thank you. So this is the structure of the Earth showing the core. You know, you have the Earth, and then on the inside you have the solid core, iron core. Then you have a liquid core, and made of mainly iron and nickel. And then you get to a mantle, and the very top of the mantle and the crust are called the lithosphere, and that's what composes the tectonic plates on the planet that we just looked at in the previous map. So there's a difference. There's a thicker, 100-mile maybe continental lithosphere, and then the oceanic lithosphere is denser, mostly made of a lot of iron, and it's thinner as well, quite a bit thinner than the continental crust. So if we go to the next figure, please let me know if you can see this when it comes up.
I can see
Can you
it.
guys see that?
I see the abduction and the subduction.
Thank you. Okay. So here we see the different plate boundaries of plate tectonics and the different plate margins. So what we're talking about is going to be this ridge. Say this is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. It's a spreading center. So the plates, tectonic plates, are spreading apart, and volcanism and magma are coming up to fill the crack, solidifying, and then the plates continue to move off. A new layer of magma comes in and solidifies, and that goes on and on and on. You also have what are called subduction zones, where the denser oceanic crust dives down beneath the continental crust. And when it melts at depth, can you see my cursor at all?
Yes, I'm looking at your cursor.
Oh, you're
Okay. So you get melting down at this depth, and it becomes what are called diapirs, and you get magma chambers form, and then you get your island arcs, such as Japan. Also, there's a subduction zone off of South America that creates the Andes. There's one off of the Northwest United States that forms the Cascade Mountains, Mount Shasta, etc. You also have plates that will, so that's when plates are coming together. Whenever continental crust, like is over here, subducts over into another continental mass, you have a mountain, you have crumpling and compression of both continental crusts, and you get a mountain range form, like say the India crashing into Asia, you get the Himalayas that form that way, because it's both buoyant crust crashing into one another. You don't have the oceanic crust involved anymore. So there's nowhere for the continental crust to go. It crashes into each other. You have other features like these hotspot volcanic seamounts like Hawaii, but we're not going to talk about those tonight. We can maybe talk about those some other time. Let me go to the next figure. Okay. Can you see this, please?
Oh, you're not-
Ah,
Anybody?
I can see it.
I was having a hard time with
Okay.
my mute button. It's not responding.
Missing Mod, you can be the moderator. Tell me if you see these things.
Okay. Yeah, I see. You're showing South America, Africa, North America, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Nigeria.
So we're going to be talking about the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. And you can see by the shape of the ridge that it conforms very closely to the shapes of the continents. You can see Africa would fit right in there. Africa would fit down here. South America and North America would fit right in here. And that's what's happened. There was a supercontinent, and it pulled apart at this ridge, the two plates.
What is this? What is this slide? What is it named? The name of this slide specifically? I'm gonna have to have you pull this up later.
Oh, okay. You could just say map of Mid-Atlantic Ridge. I can find any slide you need for me to find. Mid-Atlantic Ridge.
Okay.
So let me give a couple details of the ridge. Let's see here. So it's the longest mountain range in the world, basically. It's about 2 to 3 kilometers above the ocean floor, and it has a rift valley at its crest, marking the location at which the two plates are moving apart. It's part of a 25,000 mile long continuous system of ridges on the floors of the oceans. The movement of the tectonic plates is about 2.5 centimeters per year, which I think is about an inch a year. And the measurement of the tectonic plates is measured using a global positioning system. Okay. Are there any questions so far?
I don't have any.
Do you have measurements on current depths of like certain features right next? Like, what's the depth to the highest peak of the ridge?
Well, you can see in the upper right corner, you can see that diagram showing the depths. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to see, but it's too small. I was wondering if you could tell me what.
You know, I don't know. It looks like it's about 600 feet maybe to the top of the ridge. Of course, it varies. Iceland is a part of the ridge that's so volcanic that it actually created an island. And, you know, Iceland rises thousands of feet out of the ocean. But I've stood along the ridge line in Iceland, and really interesting place to visit. But there's several other islands as you move on down toward, you know, off the African coast there. Let's see here. So basically at the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, the North American and Eurasian plates are moving away from each other along the line of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. And the ridge extends into the South Atlantic between the South American and African plates. So that's what that shows. And if there's, I can call this up again. So if we take a timeline of history, and all this is supported by radiometric dating, we used to have a precursor of the Atlantic Ocean called Iapetus Ocean. And this would have been around 500 million years ago. And it was positioned between two continental masses. And it basically began to grow narrower and close due to subduction, which we saw before what a subduction zone is. And then once it closed, it created, are you seeing this figure showing these different mountain ranges?
Yes.
So we have the Appalachian Mountains here in North America, and it goes down into the Ouachita Mountains of Arkansas. We have the Little Atlas Mountains in Africa. We have let me do my cursor here. We have Newfoundland here. We have part of the British Isles. We have the Caledonian Mountains in Norway, and we have the east coast of Greenland. And all these formed one mountain range at one time when those two continental masses crashed together. And at its peak, it was considered to be probably as high as the current Himalayas, which are another continental mass crashing into another, what we discussed before, India crashing into Eurasia. So this mountain range, the Central Pangean Mountains, it's called, formed as a result of a collision between minor supercontinents, Laurentia and Gondwana. And as I said, it was comparable to the present Himalayas, but a very long mountain range. And so these mountains basically just started to erode at that point because they were no longer growing. Plate motion had stopped, and they were basically just in a phase of erosion. And so they're very old mountains, and you can tell if you're ever in the Appalachians compared with the Rocky Mountains or the Himalayas or the Alps. The Appalachian Mountains are very rounded and very old, but they can match up the rock units from all these different ranges. So they knew they were one mountain range at one point because the rock units, the ages of all these ranges, the fossils that are found, they all match up. And basically, it opened up again. And when it opened up again, that's when the Mid-Atlantic Ridge formed. The plate motion started to diverge. And so you could see it split this mountain range apart. And now you have the Atlantic Ocean starting to form. And it, of course, went all the way to its where we are now, because it's still spreading out at 2.5 kilometers per year. Let's see here. Okay, any questions so far about any of that? And all these have been all these mountain ranges have been dated by the volcanic rocks using methods such as
barium, strontium
dating. Yeah, multiple techniques. So I guess before I talk about anything else, we'll leave it at that for now. I just have two figures for later. Well, let me show you. We'll leave those, Dustin, and I'll let you talk. Thank you.
No problem.
Did that all come through okay?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I heard everything. I'm right on the same page. Okay, so he used to see the equilibrium that exists between parts of the Earth's crust, which behaves as if it consists of blocks floating on the underlying mantle, raising if material such as ice caps is removed, and sinking if material is deposited. And the material in this question would be water. He used to see a change of sea levels throughout the world caused typically by movements of parts of the Earth's crust, or melting of glaciers. So what we're trying to establish here with these words is a form of glacioeustatics. The theory that because of the mantle, there's more of a play between the level of the crust. Is somebody, I'm getting echo. The level of the crust, right, in relation to the water level, based on the weight of the water, in fluctuations due to the ice caps melting. So, I mean, we all can agree that going back in time recently, we were in an ice age where the caps were of greater abundance on the land.
Right. We aged that at about 10,000 years ago, the last ice age. And of course, yeah, so the glaciers and ice caps will suppress the land, and then it'll rebound once the ice is melted.
Absolutely.
So, offsets in the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, Earth's planetary translators. So I have some documents here on dredgings of limestone, and they had contaminations in them. I'm trying to find it. Consists of Mesozoic from the offset zone, and the conclusions were derived from this study appears to confirm that and extend the results obtained previously by. Okay, do you know who Bonetti is?
No. What's his first name?
I'm trying to find it. This guy Bonetti.
He's talking about limestones, or?
Well, he was dredging up limestones, and they found in the composition that there was oolitic. Okay, limestone. There was presence of well-developed oolitic fascists indicated faces. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Facies. Thank you. I didn't want to say feces. I wanted to say facies. Indicate that the limestone formed in very shallow water close to the sea level. So when they dredged up this limestone, they found that there was fossilized parts of land crust. I'm sorry, man.
Okay.
Like I really tried to get this all down. Like I have pages of notes here, but I was busy working, and like the theory is, I can summarize what I'm saying. Essentially, my theory is that the separation, so the abduction and the subduction zones are caused by compression of the water as it pushes down on the land, right? But if you're saying that the land crust was separated, then there shouldn't be these oolitic feces or facies indicating that the limestone formed near shallow water. So that if they're separating, why is there these fossils that they keep finding along the ridge? He hasn't come up with an explanation to this point.
Okay. Well, I've never heard this argument, so I'll probably have to kind of look into it. But can I ask you a couple of questions?
Absolutely. It would probably be easier. I could answer them because I have my notes here.
Well, I just want to get your model. You know, I've kind of given you my model, which is
Right.
basically the scientific consensus model. But what would your model? Do you know who Walt Brown is?
That name sounds familiar.
So this was really what I thought your argument was going to be. Is Walt Brown came up with the hydroplate theory, and he has a. I've got a couple notes on it, but his theory, which is something that Kent Hovind agrees with, is let's see here. Basically, that the Earth's crust once floated upon a thin layer of water, which was under great pressure. The crust began to crack, allowing water to come to the surface. It shot out of the crust like fountains, possibly as high as 20 miles in the air, and rained down for 40 days and 40 nights. That crack now forms the entire mid-Atlantic ridge. The shape of the ridge bears the specific outlines of the continent's edges, which after the flood moved over the layer of water to their current geographical location. So that's called the hydroplate theory, which is used by creationists. Does that ring a bell, or have you not heard that before?
No, that was not my argument. My argument was more like a seesaw, teeter totter, right? The more water you have in these areas, the higher you're going to push up the land crust, right? And that's where you end up with like scarring along the lines, where you can see granite areas from the subduction zones, right? But then you also have to account for whenever you get to the mid-Atlantic ridge, when they're dredging up that limestone, because it's encapsulated. The coastal crust is encapsulated. There's granite in there that they can't explain why it's there if the crusts are supposedly separating.
Is this truth seeker?
If there was
So you're saying
if crustal spread took place in this area at the rate of 1.2 centimeters a year, the block cap by the limestone apparently did not move with the spreading floor. Bonetti.
Oh, did somebody say something? Oh, hey Rex, I didn't see you come in.
Oh yeah, hello. Who is this debate between?
Well, it's a discussion between Dustin, who's in here with us, and Big Bad Mama.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I was lost there for a second.
Up there's Mouth Pig being naked again.
Wait,
Naked
Math
baby.
Pig's naked
Again.
Holy shit.
Again. Him and
Well,
his
I
mom
mean,
being in a sausage
yeah, we
bounce
should
around.
expect it by now. I mean, come on, not a surprise.
How you doing, Joey Balls and Strikes, bro?
Joey Balls and Strikes. All right, we'll get some more of this.
Yeah, let's go. I'm
His
enjoying
papers in
this.
1977. Yeah, the crustal. If you have crustal spreading, then they shouldn't be finding these limestone that have this oolitic facies.
Oh,
Okay,
hey,
we'll have
Spooky
to
Man!
look that
Look,
up,
I'm
but
gonna be
let
at
me
your
move to the next
stream.
part
I
of
might
my
come on.
presentation because
I
I
might
think it
not.
segues nicely here, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
So we have the, let me get this figure up here. Can you see this?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I can.
oh, you can. Okay. So when we talk about the Earth's magnetic field, it seems that every 300,000 years ago, we have a reversal in the field. And it's discovering this reversal that revealed that seafloor spreading is happening. And it's through magnetic polarity reversals. So basically, the lava pours out at the mid-ocean ridges. And there are tiny magnetic minerals in that melted magma that align themselves with the magnetic field at that time. And it preserves the magnetic field like a tape recorder when that lava solidifies and moves away from the ridge. And of course, it's moving away from the ridge on both sides. Both the axis of the ridge is in the middle, and then the new lava comes in, solidifies, and moves away from the ridge. The plate moves, and then as the plate moves, more magma comes in. And as it does that, it basically, it preserves like a tape recorder the direction of the Earth's magnetic field, whichever way it was pointing, normal or reversed. And these, I believe it was in the 50s or 60s, they took an airplane and later boats, they used a magnetometer to test those, test the seafloor in terms of magnetics. And what they found was what we're looking at in the diagram. You have the new magma coming in in the red, and then older magma coming in is the yellow. The older magma still is the green, and then you get the blue, and the
Okay,
oldest
can you
magma in
pause
this
this
photo
real
is
quick?
in the gray there at the edge.
Yep, give me one
But these
second.
stripes go all the way across.
There we go.
Okay, so when Big Bad Mama was trying to postulate this idea that there's a magnet strip across the floor bed of the ocean, I should have brought up the idea that elements are non-magnetic when they're heated to a specific temperature. Not only that,
Iron is.
but what's that?
Iron is.
No, after you get it to a certain temperature, it loses its magnetism.
Yes, it is. It becomes a superconductor. That's a type of magnetism. If you lower the temperature enough of iron, it becomes a superconductor. A magnet.
At the lower temperature.
Well, we're talking the temperature of space and shit, but I mean that exists. That exists.
We're talking magma, liquid magma. That is not magnetic.
Heated up? Are you talking about heated up? Well, if cooling it down works, why won't heating it up work?
Because you lose your magnetic domains in iron when you get to a certain temperature.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know nothing about physics or nothing. I know nothing.
Okay. Well, when you're dealing with liquid magma, there isn't like anything in the magma that's magnetic. Right?
Really, the flow of the magma does not create a magnetic field. It does not.
When you're dealing with two conflicting in the earth, that's different. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about magma as it's being ejected from like a volcano, or like in this particular case where he's saying that along the ridge of the subduction zone, or in this case it would be an abduction zone. That lava has magnetic bits in there that are aligning themselves with the magnetic field.
A flow of water creates a magnetic field. Do you not think a flow of magma, whether out of a volcano or being sucked back down into the ground, would not create a magnetic field? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's too hot. There isn't magnetic domains inside of the material.
There's no such thing as too fucking hot. Look, the sun is too fucking hot, but it creates a magnetic field, okay?
Do me a favor. Get you a solid permanent...
read some fucking science. How about that?
Do me a favor. Go get you a solid magnet, okay? And take a torch to it and then see if it's still magnetic.
Are you talking about a bar magnet?
Doesn't matter. Any kind of magnet. Yes, a magnet. From a refrigerator.
Everything has a magnetic field. Everything.
Okay, you're not...
You have a magnetic field.
Okay, bro. At a certain temperature, electrons lose their domain.
At a certain temperature, whether too hot or too cold, magnetism doesn't work. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is when materials reach a certain heat, they lose their magnetic domains. This is well-known science. It's not controversial. Okay?
Quote it.
I mean,
Citation needed. Citation needed.
I don't have it memorized.
No wonder.
You can Google this. I mean, it's not like I'm jumping out on a huge limb here to go get you a magnet, heat it up with a torch, and see if it's still magnetic. See if what I'm saying is bullshit. It's not. I don't know. I don't understand why this is even an argument.
Oh, what do you think, Azho?
I think I am not smart enough for this conversation because I was just trying to figure out the time zones with Spooky tomorrow.
Is he?
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, so we ready to fire the sucker back up?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Both axes all the way to the coasts, and basically, it's given us a way not only to know what was going on with the magnetic field, but we were able to date these layers with radiometric dating, and the dates match perfectly. So if you were to take the dates on the yellow layer on both sides, they match perfectly. And if you do the green layers on either side, they match perfectly. And they get older as there's not anomalous dates you get. The dates get older as you get further away from the axis of the ridge, because that used to be new magma that's now moved apart from the axis, if that makes sense.
You won't
let's
like
see.
my rebuttal for that one.
Okay. Here, hold on 1 second, and then I'll give you that rebuttal. So here's what we've come up with in terms of the dates. And we can see, of course, right along the ridge there, which matches, you have to explain how not only the continents match shape, but also the ridge matches the shape of the continents as well. And that's something that your model should be able to explain, as well as, you might believe radiometric dating is flawed, but you'd have to really show that in all cases. But because we have pretty good dating, that here we have in the red, here in the orange, we have the lava that's just being created. And then we have dates going, as you can see, these are in millions of years, the scale on the right here, until you get to 180 million years on the very edge when that ocean first started to open up, and the Atlantic started to open up. And so this, of course, would be your oldest rocks would be here. And even the sediment layers, you would get very little sediment that's accumulated here on these new additions to the seafloor, but you would get pretty heavy sedimentation that's found on these areas here. So Dustin, go ahead, please.
Okay, so as far as your barium, strontium, or your potassium dating, we've done recent dating on rock that came out of Mount St. Helens. That didn't turn out too well for that experiment. So, if you can manipulate numbers based on the rock and the area that it's taken from, then the dating has to be put into question at the very least, or in my mind is in challenge. On the other end of the equation, if you're going to say that there's millions of years of erosion here in the separation of the plates, what we don't see is runoff from the coastal continents that would justify that. All those thousands of years and millions of years of rainfall off, you would see a lot more erosion. And as far as for like, yes, go ahead.
So the Mount St. Helens rocks, basically they use the conventional potassium argon dating method, and they applied it to a 1986 dacite, which is a type of rock from the lava dome at Mount St. Helens. Ages varied from about what I have 0.34 million years to 2.8 million years. And so creationists then use that to say that potassium argon method is invalid. The trouble with this is Stephen Austin, who did this work, he sent his samples to a lab that clearly stated that their equipment cannot accurately measure rocks less than 2 million years. So Austin misused the measurement technique, and he should expect inaccurate results as a result of that. Also, well, his sample, just let me, one more thing, Dustin, and then I'll let you, just let me finish this real quick, please. Austin's samples were not homogeneous, as he himself admitted. So if you have any rock, when volcanic rock, there's an eruption, oftentimes there's older pieces of rock that get mixed in with the new magma that's being formed, and it'll be carried out of the, either as an eruption, an explosion, or as in a lava flow. They're called xenocrysts, and they're whatever rock was there before a volcanic eruption, and the volcanic eruption took that rock out of the rock wall and made it part of the lava flow or the ash layer or what have you. But so Austin admitted that his samples were not homogeneous, which means that they weren't just of the original flow or what have you, the original material. Any xenocrysts in the sample would have made samples appear older because the xenocrysts themselves would be older, if that makes sense. So that's a distinct possibility why he was getting those dates in the millions of years. And I think,
do you see?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Do you see the hot zone? Okay, if you go back, well, we don't have to, but if you see the hot zone, okay, and the idea that these layers are lined up with the magnetic polarity, all right, if you're telling me that older rock from below can contaminate the newer rock that's up here, then the whole dating method alone is in question. Because you're dating a magnetic pole that was exposed to older rock and then subsequently cooled as it supposedly spread. You don't see the stretching. You don't see any of those issues. And then again, like I said, every time you have an eruption and you're taking those samples from deep under the ocean, you have the potential of cross-contamination. The whole idea of dating these rocks should be put into question. Even if the individual was playing games, the idea that the facilities did not catch this is an issue in my mind.
Well, fair enough.
Well, I'm not clear why you would have contamination when you're just sampling volcanic.
Say what now?
Go ahead, Rex.
I said we work with the science we have, not with the science we want. We improve over time, but yeah, it's not perfect. Fuck, man, nothing's perfect. Point out one thing that's perfect.
Gigi.
Oh well, that is okay. I concede that point, but yeah. But I mean, yeah, you're arguing over perfection like it's something attainable. It's not.
We're not talking
It's
about
a good
perfection
goal.
here.
It's a good goal to strive
Perfection's not
for.
even. Perfection's not even a topic of discussion.
This is
here.
a good question.
We're talking about discrepancy.
Well, okay. Hey, Gigi, can you present the thing I've got in the background? Since we were arguing over volcanoes and bullshit, how old is the oldest layer of the Earth when you go deep enough? How
Probably
old?
the core. The core probably be the oldest, but I have no idea.
I need a phone number, Hard.
I don't think you do either.
I didn't say I did. I asked you a question.
I don't think anybody knows the answer to that question.
Well, we know the Earth's core is iron.
Right.
Okay, and it's magnetic.
No.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's why the Earth has a magnetic field.
You don't know what you're talking about.
No, you don't know what you're talking about.
No, it's not. It's not the
Fluid
not the fact that
field
there's
that generates a magnetic field that protects us from the sun.
You have difference in density between the more dense iron core
Jesus Christ.
and the less dense.
Technically correct is always the best kind of correct, but you're not.
You're not any kind of technical of any kind, bro. You don't even know what you're talking about. It's not because the core is iron. If you can hold on a second. Hold on. If you're gonna tell me that it's the iron core that's what makes this thing magnetic, then how come gas giants have magnetic poles?
Because they have
that, genius.
Hey, look, quit fucking shouting at me, goddammit, you fucking pussy.
Hey.
How about that?
Hey guys.
You gotta shout and be right. You're fucking wrong already.
You're dumb, dude. How does a gas giant have a magnetic pole? How does a gas giant have a magnetic pole? How does a gas giant pole? How does a gas?
You're not gonna listen. I'm not gonna talk. So fuck.
Then get out of here.
No, I will be here just to piss you off.
Well, whatever, dude. Get back to the presentation, please, Azho.
Okay.
Rock, and it's shown on rocks on land too that they also get those magnetic anomalies. In fact, you can even match if you have a magnetic signature from a magnetometer. You have a measurement of a rock on the Atlantic seafloor. You can find that same measurement on a rock on land that was a volcanic rock on land because the magnetic reading is the same. And that was another way that they were able to. That was another way they were able to.
Is that because the rock is? Is that because the rock is magnetized, or because the magnetic pole has remained that way for so long?
Well, it's it would be comparing rocks using that method, since it would be more inaccurate because you have these magnetic reversals about once every 300,000 years. So you might have a 60 million year old lava flow, and it corresponds to a 60 million year old lava flow on the Atlantic floor. But you would have to put error bars like you do on any dating method to account for those things. But it's just another way that we have kind of, not only do we have direct dating of the layers, and it shows a remarkable pattern here. That's, it would be a real coincidence if contamination played a part in every sample that they collected, yet it gave this uniform dating map here. And
well, but if I was, let's say that I was to send in samples, okay, and we were to get a funny number back, would I be considered like dishonest because I didn't understand every concept there is to know about barium, strontium, or potassium, argon dating? I mean, you ascribe these things, and I mean, if you're going to say that there is no conspiracy behind the idea that atheism is not a religion, then you can't turn around and simultaneously point your finger at a freaking at a creationist and say that your God is a made up thing and accuse us of a conspiracy. It doesn't make sense.
Well, I'm not really accusing you of a conspiracy, and I don't think I ever brought up God.
Well, you did say creationist. You said creationist. Use that as.
Okay, I'm gonna go get a drink. I can hear. I'm gonna be gone for like a minute. I just got to go get some ice. But forgot to say this earlier. I'm probably gonna try to shut down before 9, so I don't keep Gigi up all night because he's doing us a favor by, co-hosting
sure.
this.
I mean, all right. How is lack of belief in a God a religion? How does that work?
They have the same basic principles. You
No,
guys have
they
a church.
don't.
They have a church.
No, they don't.
Oh, they don't. The atheists and the Satanists don't
What
have
is
a
an
church.
atheist church? Show me an atheist. Show me
There
an
are
atheist
atheist church.
Well, you can say Universalist Unitarians, or you can say Satanists, or whatever. That's not atheist church.
Okay, whatever, bro. You can.
Well, I mean,
say
you don't understand.
Can
Not
we?
a me
No,
problem.
I don't care to
It's not a me
understand.
problem. It's a you problem. You don't get it.
I
And
don't
you
get
think
it.
you do.
Okay.
You think
Okay,
you know
I
it
don't
all
get it.
and got it all figured out, and you don't have.
Yeah, no, I just don't want any advice from you. That's the bottom
Okay,
line.
I'm gonna start this back up. I'll be back in 1 minute.
As a way to disprove or to support.
Hey, look, I'll fucking go.
Argon dating. You did say that.
I probably did say that. Yeah, and I also said that the hydroplate theory was the predominant creationist theory. But let
You
me
did
ask
say that
you,
as well.
Let me ask you a question, Dustin. What do you think created the Mid-Atlantic Ridge? I mean, do you believe in plate tectonics at all? I
believe that there is some separation in the plates when you have compression due to isostatic or glaciostatics. I mean, I've seen more reason to believe that than I have to think that these plates are separating. I mean, there would be a lot more issues. I would see a lot more, like there'd be a lot more earthquakes. We'd see a lot more splitting across these continents because of the different. I mean, we take a look at those lines and the way they're laid arbitrary, but they don't actually mean anything. If you're telling me that these two plates are pushing against each other and there's a ball,
no, they're pulling apart from one another. Is what I'm saying.
Well, that means that implies that there's a push.
They used to be attached,
right?
And so the push is going the other direction. So the push is going.
But it's a ball. It's self-contained, right? How long do you expect that shape to maintain? Over billions of freaking years? No. These continents should be split apart. You should have all kinds of chaos running everywhere. This looks like abduction and subduction due to glaciostatics.
Number one, it's only 2.5 centimeters a year on this plate, and the way the crust is, or the lithosphere is recycling, is it's going down in subduction zones. So you're not just getting a Earth that's rifting apart. In fact, this is just
okay. I have a question. I have a question. Hold on.
Hold on 1 second. This isn't going deep into the mantle like it's going to crack the Earth apart. Let me bring this diagram up again. So it maintains, the Earth maintains. Here you have the spreading center here, and then here you have the subduction zones. And the proof of the subduction zones are the island arc or the volcanic arc, like the Andes, if it's subducting under continental crust here. So you have this line of volcanoes that follows the orientation of the trench. And so you have crust being created at the ridge and going back down into the mantle and melting at the subduction zone. Okay, go ahead.
Over billions of years, this subduction zone to the right, would you not expect the mantle to be cooling over a certain amount of time? Considering that the mantle is exposed to ice cold ice water and being permanently subducted over billions of years?
Well, there is a temperature, for a while before the subduction zone gets down to the depth where it can melt. It is cooler in the center of the subduction zone than the rest of the air. Then the surface is getting heated up because of friction, both surfaces. But in the middle of that plate going down, the temperatures are colder, but it pushes down to such a depth where that doesn't matter anymore. And you're getting melting that's occurring. You're also getting sediments that are going down there. And as you said, ocean water, which acts to cool the plate somewhat.
It shouldn't just act to cool the plate. I mean, you're talking about a constant feed of cold material being subducted into a hot mantle, and it stays hot for billions of years. That doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense.
Well, I think you're saying that it stays cold for a long time.
No. What I'm telling you is it doesn't matter how cold it stays for how long. What I'm telling you is eventually thermodynamics are going to take over, and you're going to start to lose heat in the mantle, right? All this heat has got to go somewhere, and it's being migrated into this new. Why aren't we? over billions of
melts,
years,
it
we should
melts.
see.
We see it right now. It's melting and it's forming. You see that line of volcanoes? It's called the volcanic arc. That's forming
Right.
all along the trench, and that's where the heat is going. So it's diving down and it's melting. It doesn't just keep going down into the mantle forever. In fact, given the Earth's size, it doesn't go down, that far at all. But it gets down to a depth because it's hot down there where it melts. I mean, how would you, I never really heard your model for why the ridge is there. But can you tell me why the Andes volcanic arc is where it's at down the entire length of South America?
The Andes volcanic salt. What was it? The volcanics
Andes
of
Mountain.
any volcanics along this ridge, all right, is due to severe piling of material due to the glaciostatics of the point. So as the water pushes down, right, you have a compression zone where material fills in, and as it's filling in, it's building heat, like you said over here in this volcanic region, okay, and it will erupt over time. But that's because of the compression of the material and the back and forth motion of the mantle as it's adjusting over time because of the different positions it's got to be pushed through.
And it just happens to be in a line that parallels the subduction zone, which is
well, it happens to follow
where the word
weight happens to follow the path of least resistance. Yeah, I'd say that and it's not in a perfect line. It follows the contours of the mantle below.
Okay, well, I don't agree with that model, and I would like to see some citations specific to the Andes Mountains.
Well, I wouldn't have citations. Well, maybe I actually do have citations to the Andes Mountains.
You don't have to look them up now, but maybe afterwards.
But I spent some time researching this, man. I got notes.
Yeah.
So no, I see your model. I just have an issue. Like, how are you going to continually subduct for millions upon millions of years and not expect the heat to dissipate? Right? Like, we should be seeing a severe cooling of.
The heat dissipates into the lithosphere and erupts as volcanoes, which releases the heat.
Which would eventually run out. You only have so much heat, man. It's not like there's a continuous, endless well of heat in the center of the Earth. Eventually, that should run out.
At some point, the plate boundary will change, or the plate motion will change. It's very dynamic. The entire plate structure is dynamic, and plate directions change. So if the plate direction changed and it started to move away from each other, you wouldn't have those volcanic arcs anymore. They would erode away because there's no active subduction zone going on. And you would have granite. The granite that's forming underneath here would be exposed. And it's like what you see in the Sierra Nevada mountains, which is granite is intrusive igneous rock. It's not erupted onto the surface. It crystallizes underground. And it's composed of quartz and feldspars and some different minerals.
How did I know you were going to get into crystallization? I knew you were going to get into crystallization. Can you tell me if it's immersed or unmersed? I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going there.
What's the term that you mentioned?
Immersed or unmersed. It was either in the water or under the water, or above the water.
Oh, well, I've always heard above the water is aeolian.
Right.
I'd have to look at that term, but my point is that it's a real, let me show you one other thing on this map, if you don't mind. Do you see this feature called Hotspot Volcano Seamount? It's on the left there, left center.
Yeah, Hotspot Volcano. I see Volcano Island Arc. I don't see Seamount.
To the right, out in the middle of the ocean. Does anybody see that?
Wait, am I blind?
Missy Mod, are you with us?
Yeah, I see it. Sorry.
Are you conscious?
Yeah, I'm in the chat laughing at Claude and Logo.
Okay. So that hotspot volcano seamount, that is what Hawaii is. And it's a hotspot feature that's not at a plate boundary. It's not either at a ridge or a subduction zone. It's just a weakness in the lithosphere in which there's a hotspot coming up from the mantle and creating volcanism. And so the whole line of the Hawaiian mountains, the only island that's active now is the island of Hawaii with the Kilauea volcano and Mauna Loa. If you take the islands that stretch off to the west and northwest, because then they go underneath, they keep going all the way over toward Asia underwater. But you'll see that each of those islands is dated progressively older, millions of years older, because the plate is moving, and that island marks where that volcano, that landmass would have been over that hotspot. And then the plate moves it away, and you get a new island form. It moves away, you get a new island form. Does that make sense? And then you can see with the line of the volcano or of the islands of Hawaii and the seamounts, you can date those and date how fast that plate is moving as well.
Well, I mean, within our measurements, within our lifetime, I would agree with you, right? But I mean, there's no guarantee that that's a fixed rate.
It's not it's probably not a fixed rate. I mean, the plate movements, you know, they change from year to year. But
So,
the magnetic stripes, the magnetic stripes, and the age dates that you have, the actual radiometric dating, tells you the absolute date of whatever you're dating. And each of those Hawaiian islands dates progressively older as you get west and northwest of the main island, which is.
Where's the magnetic map of this area? Do you have it?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know that. I'm not sure.
I would challenge that premise, because if you're telling me that the plates are inconsistent, but the magnetism is, then we have an issue with our measurements. There's something not adding up here, bud. I'm sorry. The way you're explaining it, it doesn't, because you're telling me that this is inconsistent, but we have this consistent measurement to go by, right? Well, but then you have no way of cross-checking, because the one measurement is always going to be inconsistent.
Well, no, I mean, you asked if the movements of plates was always consistent through time. And I said that, no, the plates are continually moving. Sometimes the movement will go into the other direction because of what happened with another plate. The other plates are continually either banging against each other, or they're drifting apart from each other, like at a ridge. They're diving down underneath each other, which is oceanic lithosphere diving beneath continental lithosphere. So the plates along the planet are continually moving. But in certain areas, like the mid-Atlantic ridge, it's been stable for 180 million years of movement. And we know that because not only do we have the magnetic stripes that have shown that movement has occurred, and we also have the actual dates of the ocean floor themselves, which is this figure here. And so if we were to a geology timeline would have been constructed like this. Let me just give me like a minute here, Dustin, please. So
take your time. I'm not.
So pause it right
you
here,
would have had
please.
Around 600 to 400 million years ago, the Iapetus.
You notice how he's not really addressing how I'm pointing out there's an inconsistency with their measurements?
Right.
And did you notice how he didn't address my thermodynamic argument, my second law of thermodynamics?
Right.
I'm still waiting for answers.
See, I think he's been hanging around Kent too long. He's got too many slides.
It gets worse further on down the line. I'll ask him out and out questions, and then he'll ignore it and keep going. I'm like, bro, like, okay, yeah, these things are like innocuous. They sound like they belong together, but there's no straight line that connects all of your evidence, bro. I'm sorry, there's not. But if you take a look at the ridge. Look at where the water is. Look at where the weight's distributed. And then look at where the land is in relation to the two. Do you see that? Do you see how it looks like there's a teeter-totter?
Right, like a seesaw you were talking about?
Yeah, do you see that? Am I crazy? Or does it look like the water's pushing down and the land is rising up?
So, what? So, Trash Smeller made 2 more videos about me and his friend. Destroying the words of the Bible is his yes man. Good thing I don't pay much attention to him, Mr. Pike.
The plastialluvial of the magma underneath, it'll move, right, as the water's pushing down. And if you look at a topographical map of the Earth as it's being projected, there's a bulge at the ridge. What do you suppose that's from? Ice caps?
For snow cones?
Right. But don't eat the yellow ones.
Oh no, bad.
Bad.
Abort.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Ocean, which was positioned between continental masses, was the proto-Atlantic, a precursor of the Atlantic Ocean. And In 540 million years ago, the Iapetus Ocean began to grow narrower due to subduction. We're talking about the Atlantic here. 420 million years ago, the Iapetus Ocean had completely disappeared, and the combined masses of the three continents formed the new continent of Laurasia, the northern component of the supercontinent of Pangaea. 340 million years ago, the central Pangaean mountains formed, which were the two continental masses coming together and crashing into one another and forming this now ancient mountain range, which we discussed. About 180 million years ago, and we have dates for all these. We have radiometric dating for all these events. We have the breakup of Pangaea and the formation of the Atlantic Ocean, and the breakup of Pangaea was done along the mid-Atlantic ridge, moving the continents of Europe and Africa apart from North America and Asia. So that's currently going on, and we have massive volcanism that happens along the ridge today, which you would expect. Iceland is about to erupt again, and there's hundreds of earthquakes that are happening every week in Iceland right as we speak. And
do you know what else is happening? Do you know what else is happening right now, Big Bad Mama? Unprecedented amounts of
Atlantic Ridge.
Absolutely, that's exactly what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. Unprecedented amounts of water are being dumped into the ocean via the ice caps, therefore creating larger and larger amounts of weight pushing down on the mid-Atlantic ridge, creating what's known as fissures and allowing for lava to spew up. My issue with your model is if there is nothing but continual subduction and abduction of heat being lost from the core over billions of years, we should not have any more
from the mantle.
It's
melting from the upper mantle, but just to be specific, the volcanism is not coming from the core. The core is acting to drive convection in the mantle and creating areas of melt in the upper mantle, but the volcanism itself is not coming from all the way down in the core.
There's huge plumes of crustal mantle that are being subducted and being ejected into the deep core of the Earth. That is actually happening. They have tested this. They have measured these cores, and they have not come to temperature equilibrium yet. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that there is an issue with the way you're making these measurements. I'm telling you, like there's something wrong.
Something fishy in Denmark? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that there's necessarily a nefarious intent behind it. Okay, but what I'm telling you is that like our whole method of measuring time is based on consistency of celestial movements and the prediction of a rhythmic movement over a successive period with a vector. The whole thing is damaged at the very core. That the thing that we use to make measurements. That's the reality. The one thing that scientists are afraid to admit to themselves is that our measurements, our method of measurements, are clumsy and very, very primitive.
I would say GPS is not clumsy and can measure, things to very small sizes.
Pause that.
GPS is not clumsy. Magnetometer readings of.
All right.
GPS has a little problem called time dilation, and the very furthest satellite from the Earth is something like 1.5 miles away. Oh no, it's not clumsy at all. You don't have to adjust for all kinds of variables or anything, right? If there's a glitch somewhere, the whole GPS unit doesn't drop. Like, yeah, give me a break. Big Bad Mama. The only reason it works is because most of the data is backed up on servers that are projected onto a 3D network from the cell tower. Okay? Like, GPS is... Anyway, you can proceed.
All I gotta say is Big Bad Mama's a lot smarter than I am, so I can't argue either way.
Of rock units is not clumsy. In fact, the data can be duplicated all over, as can radiometric dating. But let me ask you a couple questions. Why would the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which has been mapped to 2,000 or 3,000 meters above the ocean floor, why wouldn't it have been compressed by what you're calling the glacier?
Glaciostatics. Ask me that one more time.
Well, the glacier, the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. I'll finish it. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge it goes down the entire length of the Atlantic Ocean. So glaciers didn't reach beyond, maybe Kansas City, according to what Ken Hovind says, and I think I believe him on that. But so that would be, it would reach down a certain length of the ridge, maybe. But you're talking about it's crossing the equator. There was no ice down at the equator.
I never made that claim.
No evidence.
I never made that claim.
So why would that ridge be 2,000 to 3,000 feet consistently? Meters. I'm sorry, 2,000 to 3,000 meters. If it was being pressed down by glacial ice. or water.
So if I'm stepping out in the center of a glass table, okay, would I expect the cracks to be at the edge, or would I expect the cracks to be right under where my weight is?
Are you sitting at the edge of the table or in the middle?
No, I said I was walking out towards the center of the table, of a glass table. Would I expect the cracks?
It would probably crack in the center.
Right. So if you're dealing with a mid-Atlantic ridge where all this material is mounding up on because it is the point of least resistance for the weight to allow for the shelf to crack, I would expect a ridge to be there because one side is weaker than the other.
Okay.
Boom. Roasted.
I just don't. Maybe we should take some questions now and just kind of see where we stand. But I understand. That's an interesting. I haven't heard that argument before, and I don't buy it for many reasons. But it's interesting.
Big Bad Mama.
Can we? Yeah.
Do you want people to come in, or do you want me to just get questions from the chat?
Well, let's hear if Missing Mod and Claude,
I mean,
if they're
that's
still here, if they have questions.
Yeah,
pretty much the
he's
end
in
of
the
the
chat.
debate right
Claude,
there.
you can come in if you want.
What?
I don't.
Do what?
That's pretty much the end of the debate. We had more discussion, but that was the gist.
Well,
of
you guys were friendly.
Well, the Big Bad Mama and I, we weren't trying to argue, and he wasn't trying to tell me I didn't know what I was talking about before I could even finish a sentence. Right? There was collaboration. I mean, look, I can judge. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'll let you be the judge. But I think that was a good debate. I think a few of my
I enjoyed it. I've learned a few things actually, but I'm not much into rocks.
I bet you if I got to an old jukebox, you'd probably change your tune about that.
Well, that's a different kind of rock.
Anyway.
Yes, GG.
I still want answers to those questions.
Ask Mod. She knows everything.
Azho, what would you ever debate Claude over Kent's taxes?
No.
Okay.
What would the debate be? Yeah, I don't know if it was. I don't know if what he got hit for was tax evasion. I think it was structuring.
Claude said he wanted to debate Kent over the 7th stage of evolution, the evolution of taxes.
The evolution of taxes. Well, to be fair, there's enough dinosaur bones of that stuff. We could probably prove something there.
Well, we can do a Hovid rock versus crack rock debate. Mod's going to represent the crack rock side.
Dustin Hovid. Dustin, what do you find out your Kent's long lost son?
Did you really just go there? No, I'm not. And no, thank you.
Or the evolution of Kent's marriages, or de-evolution.
What did he say? What did he say about the taxes? Go back to that last one. Topic: Hogan rightfully tax-related crimes. No. See, that would be a misnomer there, Claude, because I'm not sure what he got convicted of was a tax crime. I think it was structuring, which is a financial crime.
Isn't Missing Mod in line to become one of the missing links in Hovid's marriage evolution? She would be number 5.
If you meant by links, you meant spin roasted. I believe that's already been done. How do you think she got the 5 head? That thing is dangerous, dude. Like,
what? Missing marriages is a thing.
Missing marriages? Oh, that was hard in the paint.
I'll get rid of that then.
I can't believe I didn't see that. Anyway, yeah. So, what'd you think, man? Did you think I mean, did I sound like I know what I was talking about, or did I sound like I didn't belong in that debate?
Well, you sound like you knew what you're talking about, but you didn't try to act like you knew what you didn't know, if that makes any sense. You represented yourself rather well. Here we go.
I appreciate that.
Let's get everybody really excited now. Woohoo! There you go.
What's going on here?
Interview with Brett Keane and his moves. film at 11. Okay.
Yeah, Aiden is very excited over this.
He's probably been waiting 8 hours to make sure he gets a seat.
Yes, right. What do you think that Dustin? Brett Keen's gonna be in the PGs.
Did you just call me Brett Keen?
Oh, Brett Keen's gonna be on there.
Yeah, I missed something here. I'm way funnier than Dustin. You'd eat this forehead too, even being a gay.
Even being
The
gay.
Brett
I
situation.
wouldn't touch, dude. That forehead is like the forehead of death. You could take Trump out with that thing.
I think you guys are brother and sister. I swear.
Oh,
That's like the 5 head of death. She doesn't have a 4 head. She has a 5 head.
what if you have a 10 head?
I don't know. I thought I had a Russian haircut.
Yeah. Wait, and I did this video about Aiden. I did that. What you want? I have riding a moose drinking syrup.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Hey, you should have a syrup gun. We need to get him a syrup squirt gun.
Yeah.
He needs that standard issue.
It hit 1.5, 1,000 views.
1.5 thousand views. That's pretty good.
You see, Gigi could do a review of the PGs reviewing or interviewing Brett tonight.
Yeah. Aiden wants to do that tomorrow.
That'd be a good one to do it. That's why I'm not going to watch it tonight. If you guys do it and go through it, I don't want to watch it twice.
I don't even go over there. Like I don't pay them no mind.
I haven't been over there forever and a day. I just did
I
a
miss
search.
Achilles, but that's it.
Ooh, I don't.
Oh, you don't like Achilles? He's an
don't like
acquired
him.
taste.
He is definitely kind of like you are, to be honest, and me.
But see, the thing is like you can adjust the seasonings over here, right? Like I know what mutual respect is, Azho, and once I'm showing it, then I show back. That's how I operate.
You see, I don't have to worry about that. All I got to do is send Gigi to beat him up. He's a ninja.
Yeah. You guys I really did. When I first was over there, like you should go look at some of those older Proverbs guys videos. Like I really did. I tried doing the middle of the lane, be everybody's friend kind of thing. And then like after a while, like literally everyone, including Missing Mod, started talking shit on me. Missing
Gray Matter. We're getting it right.
Missing Gray Matter. That is correct.
I love that name. I don't know why.
Missing 5 head. Anyway.
Oh, Claude, I think that's what Gigi was talking about. Was Aiden was wanting to do a review of it tomorrow? I guess after the fact.
Yeah. Get in here,
Claude. I'm not
Claude.
going to watch it.
I want your opinion on that debate. I want to hear your opinion, bro. Get in here.
Here's his opinion. Dustin lost, but Big Bad Mama won.
And another thing, you don't
argue. Are you trying? Did you just impersonate Big Bad? Are you serious? Did you just impersonate Claude's balls?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Go ahead, Azho. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I forgot what I said because I was cracking myself up. But I don't know if Gigi wants to stay up that late or not. I'm not keeping him up. He's doing this for as a favor because he's only doing 2 or 3 streams a week plus mine and anybody else and Carps. So that would be his call.
He can shut it down anytime he wants. I'm not holding him hostage.
Oh no.
only-
What Claude was saying is it's broadcasted tonight.
Oh,
Which I mean,
Claude, get in here, bro. What are you doing?
If I didn't have to go help put groceries up here in a little bit, I might even do it on my channel or just continue it on here. But I'm more worried about Gigi.
Oh, thank you.
So you don't wear yourself out again.
Oh,
Dude. I'm not even going to address. Never mind. I'll move on. Actually, I'm not rude for no reason, dude. You guys talk like every single one of you talked mad shit on me before I even started. Like, and I would say stuff straight to your face. You guys would wait until I was gone. You would say stuff like, "I can't imagine anybody knowing Dustin and wanting to be a Christian." Like, you eat shit, Missing Mod. You act like there's no reason. Like, I never said that about you. Not behind your back. I called you Missing Gray Matter. But that's actually kind of funny though. So, and I know you claim it's not, but there's so many people that laugh about that.
Dustin. What do you think of that guy, Truth Spower? He was on there. He did a response to Brother Pike.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. Who's that? I don't know him.
Truth Spower. He's the guy who did a response to Brother Pike.
No, wait a second. I missed something here. Is Seasal trying to get into this argument between the two of them, or did I miss somebody saying something to her?
I never said anything to Seasal or about Seasal.
Well, that's right. I didn't think you did, but maybe there's somebody that got blocked. She's talking to. I don't know.
I should call her Celery Salsa.
I said that for no reason because you got a mouth and no heart. You are a coward, so how about fucking off and leave me alone? Oh, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me, Missing Mod.
I think she was talking to me. And
I know.
You can eat a big fatty bag of herpes infested dicks.
With or without ketchup?
I'd give her some KY that was previously used out of. Don't make me get any raunchy. I could get a lot worse. Okay, you have no idea. There's a reason I say I have Tourette's.
Oh,
you don't know.
Oh, now me and her can start fighting. I am a junior instigator. You are the queen of instigating there, Miss Mod.
Missing Mod, look, if you didn't want to be like snotty with me, I got like a whole list of text messages that I can show. Like, you're insane, right? You just you don't remember things that you do to people or things that you say later. You just don't, right?
But
what's up, buddy?
Is it true the buck stops here?
I do my best.
But Azho, what would you do if you got on a debate island with us, but that Titan guy and Dustin and Aiden all on an island together?
I'll never get any sleep, that's for sure. They're gonna be yelling and screaming at each other the whole time.
Say so.
It's all up in your head now.
Celery salsa.
Hola, homie balonies.
Hola, celery salsa.
Isn't it a beautiful freaking Texas day? Look at that.
I don't know, but it was here in Indiana. I'm about ready to go for a bike ride after this.
Is that one of those pictures like right before you get struck by lightning?
Or a tornado comes down, sucks you up.
It is getting so windy. I kind of hate it. I was hoping that the weather would be okay, but it's getting windy. I hope it's not another dust storm. What's up, dudes?
What's up,
Dustin storm?
What?
Did you watch the review or didn't you? Was it too boring?
I have a really short attention span and low IQ, so you guys were asking a lot. So no, I didn't watch it.
Okay.
Stop eating rocks. My daughter. But I'll watch it. What was it about? It's because you guys get so it's too much. What were you arguing about? Flat Earth, round
So
Earth?
no, we both agree that the Earth is round. He just
Oh,
thinks
well,
that like the Earth is tearing itself apart, and I'm telling him that it's more likely that the water is pressing down on the crust and it's raising the other side. That's all it is.
yeah, that's fascinating. Um, I don't even think scientists agree on this crap. You know what I mean? Why don't we talk
Um,
about really interesting things like what's the best recipe to make birria tacos?
what was that? What was the filling of choice you just said? Was it pork or
Birria.
what is what is
It's
that?
moo moo cow.
I hope so.
Seriously? You don't know what birria is? Okay.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's beef. It's beef slowly
Oh,
simmered for hours and hours.
Well, I said
And
cow.
yeah,
Yeah, I was beefy.
it's like enchiladas. You know that enchilada sauce? The red sauce for enchiladas?
yeah.
It's basically beef simmered in that for hours and hours with garlic and onions. And then once it's like completely tender and melts in your
You're
mouth.
making me hungry. You're gonna have to leave, Seasal.
Sorry.
I love tamales. I'm thinking about it now.
Yeah,
Handmade
that's
or authentic
yeah.
tamales. Oh my god, I love them
Well,
with habanero, hot
the
sauce.
famous dish right now is birria tacos. So it's like tacos of birria with a bunch of cheese and fresh chopped parsley and onions.
Oh, that sounds good.
Somebody in the chat this morning was mentioning that, and I was like, that's the easiest thing to make. Oh my god! Can you hear the wind?
Yeah, I hear you talking, Seasal. Why?
You're the freaking funniest thing on earth.
I are, aren't I? I'm gonna be
Looks
like
aren't
Dustin. No,
everything, C-Cell,
a mouth
okay?
on me, no heart.
What, Dustin? I couldn't hear you.
I said looks aren't everything, C-Cell. Looks aren't everything.
What are you
Oh,
talking about? What does that even
He
mean?
said he was the funniest thing on earth, and I said looks aren't everything.
Oh.
You know,
oh, quit clowning
I'll
around.
get you a butterfly net so you can start catching things, okay?
Dude, 90% of things go over my head. It's so bad.
I know. That's why I'm
I
gonna
don't
get
even
you a
think
butterfly net.
that butterfly net would help her catch the short bus.
We can put a cell tower up there if we need to. I imagine there's enough real estate.
What I don't I did.
I'm trying to help, okay? Just look. I'll start working on the grant. We'll see what happens.
Cut out.
Oh. How's your day, Sal?
It's been great. It's been great. I I did really well. Oh my god. Oh, it's getting crazy. I only had 2 eggs and 1 slice of bacon in the morning. And then for dinner, I had some chicken and veggies. And then that's it. That's all I've eaten all day. And I was extremely proud of myself. And then I gave in at the store and I bought myself some chocolate.
Oh, that's nice.
Are you on Weight Watchers or something?
I'm
And
trying to lose weight. Yeah.
chocolate's not that bad as long as
Yeah,
you
in
like.
moderation,
Well,
especially if
no,
it's what was it, like 80 or 90% cocoa bean or 78%, whatever it is. It's
you can
more healthy.
metabolize it as a protein if you follow it with water and a vitamin. Right? It doesn't have to like you're still gonna have like a huge insulin bump, but and actually chocolate's a pretty good painkiller too. Or do you have like some kind of pain you're not telling us about?
Yeah, I do actually.
Ha ha! What do you know? I'm a ninja.
No. Don't eat that. No.
It's a natural painkiller.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It is.
Yeah, I've always heard women their time of the month eat chocolate because of that reason. It helps.
Huh.
That's one good thing about being married 2.5 times.
That 0.5 always cracks me up. 2.5 times.
Yeah, it doesn't crack me up. It should have been just 2.0. But we knew it wasn't going to last, so I can't be surprised. But
yeah, I heard that story. I'm very surprised. How come it's so chill in here today?
There's nobody in here being hostile.
Was Bruce ain't here?
Bruce, I can deal with Bruce. Like that hostility is long gone. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, no. The thing with Bruce is the fact that here, if you're trying to review something, you have a purpose, and he wants to get stupid about especially Catholics and Calvinists and stuff unrelated to what you're talking about or trying to talk about.
I feel so bad. One time we were in Terry's channel. You know how Terry does live streams and stuff, and she opens up the panel. And I had the funniest, I thought it was the cutest, funniest joke ever. And I said it, I jumped in, I hopped in just to say my joke. And Bruce was there. And he's like, haha, that's not funny at all, Cecil. He shot down my joke, and I said something really mean to him.
No way.
Because I got mad.
No, not you. You almost think you're a Latino or something with that Latino.
And to this day, I feel guilty. And I was like, I should not have said that, even if he made me mad and insulted my joke saying skills.
Yeah, I don't get guilty very often myself. I always put it under SH.
I was hoping Aiden would have been here.
What?
I was hoping Aiden would have been here. Where's Aiden?
He got scared because Maud was here.
Yeah, Maud scares everybody away.
Is she still here? Is Claude still here?
I don't know. Are you still here?
No. I don't know if I ever was here.
I should go outside and start my bike up at least. Oh yeah.
Oh, you gonna ride your bicycle?
No, my Harley sickle.
Oh, like Dustin, he's gonna ride his scooter.
Scooter. Well, you might ride a scooter, but I'll be long gone.
Would you ever ride a bicycle like they did in
with the one big wheel?
Yeah.
Heck no. I don't know. I might try it once, to be honest.
What about what they did in
we lost her.
Holy crap. That is a lot bigger than, well, not a lot bigger.
Oh, are you serious?
Well, see, like I was looking at my Harley Davidson engine versus my brother's, because I've got a 103 or the 103 engine, and he's got the 107. So there's like 75 cc's difference in between the two. I don't know about torque and all that. Oh, here we go. But he's telling me my bike can keep up with his. I just don't quite see it. I won't get blown away.
So, am I crazy, Azho, or did he not address those things?
Maybe I understood it, and but I wasn't listening for the answers to the questions at all the time. If that makes sense.
I was listening very intently. Like I was like, when do I get an answer? Like, because he still hasn't answered them.
Well, next time you see him, say, yo, bro. Hey, Speedy.
Bro, no, like it's that's the thing though, is like I've cornered him many times. He still won't answer. It's like he doesn't have an answer. It's like I don't understand why. Why Big Bad
Well,
Mama?
maybe in his mind he thinks he has answered it. I don't know. Like I said, that's beyond my pay grade and not a topic I am very fluent in at all. To tell you the truth, that's why I can't add much to the conversation, especially with BM knowing what he knows.
Bro, like that's the other thing though. Like I'm not familiar with geology like at all. Right? Like that was only a year ago, bro. I took like maybe, I don't know, 6 hours of research. I condensed it down and like I had like a whole thing of notes and like a whole presentation. Like I tried to get it down. I didn't have enough time to get it all down, but I pretty much. What's that, buddy?
I'm gonna show you the new Pope.
I thought you were gonna show me Trump.
They'll sense the new Pope. See? First start of a...
Hey, Leo, how you doing?
Hey, there's the Catholic guy.
So the 103.
He's the new Pope.
Here we go.
See? What do you think of that, Azho?
Ta-da, new Pope.
Tons
and the Popettes. Got Den and the Denites.
Much love, Speedy Romans. That dude's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's quieter. And Harley noted.
What would you like to review next, Ethel?
Does Mod have any debates out there?
Nah. Does Justin? I don't know.
Oh, we still got the TK and Kent one. If we wanted to do that one,
we were gonna. What's his name? You should review the free will debate with Joey and what's his name? Christian Pike.
Does Gigi have that one?
I'm pretty sure he does.
Okay, well, I'll talk. He can look for it later or try to find it later.
Do you remember that, Gigi?
Yeah.
He remembers everything. He's like a sponge.
We should find that and review that. That was a good one. Because I asked some good questions in that one too. I knew you'd find it. Making you gangster ghost. See, I think we should call Gigi Space Gangster Ghost to Coast.
With the most?
With right the here, most, yeah.
I'll put in the private chat for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, you should review that. That's good.
Oh, and the problems, guys. Ugh, okay, I can do this.
We were going to. It was going to be his and my debate, but I ended up having a scheduling conflict.
Okay, got that. Piece of cake, but yeah, I may go ahead and end this unless Gigi wants to keep going, because now I got to go out and get my bike out.
That's fine.
Thank you
it was good hanging with you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Dustin. You added a lot to this.
I thought it was a good discussion. I mean, he didn't classify it as a debate. I think it was a debate. It was structured like a debate.
Right, but I mean, it's too friendly to be a debate, in my opinion.
No, not really. We kind of clashed. Like I presented a decent challenge to his model, and he didn't really refute any of it.
He might have been in that educated mode and not the let's fight about it mode. I don't know.
Well, no, bro. Like I'm actually I've been to college. Like I read at a really decent level, bro. Like I'm dyslexic, so it takes me a little bit longer. But I'm actually I have a pretty decent savvy and technical prowess.
You serious?
I think so. There's a few judges and lawyers that might agree with me.
Did you say genders and lawyers?
Gender, yes.
Judges. Yes, genders. The L Judge BTQs. Oh, LG HD TVs, buddy.
Well, you going to keep this going then, Gigi, or
what do you want to do, bro?
Yeah, we can end it. Thank you, everybody.
What did you think? Well, hold on a second, Gigi. What did you think of it? Who do you think won?
I don't know. It's like
he's a diplomat.
All right, guys. I love you guys. Catch you later.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.